I breastfed both my girls until they were 1 year old. I remember that when I was in the hospital, it was not going so well. I had really cracked, really dry, bleeding nipples, and I wasn't coping with it very well at all. Tears were involved, and I must have said to Matt that I was going to give up and I was going to bottle feed, and he was adamant that no child of his was going to be bottle fed. I don't actually know why he was so adamant about that, but I'll tell you what, let's go and ask him. Why were you so keen that I breastfed?
People have their own opinion. I thought that, my opinion was that at the time, I wanted what was best for my children, and I understood that breastfeeding was the best way to go. And that's it, really.
Where was I? When I got home, the midwife came round and she suggested that I go down to my local breastfeeding peer support group. So I went down with Doll. I don't recall that much of it, but it must have worked because I ended up loving breastfeeding. I guess one thing that I do remember about it is that they said to make sure, let me see if I've got this right, that the baby, to make a special K sign, so that this is the baby's bottom lip and this is the baby's top lip, and that it latches onto the nipple and covers all of it. So they also suggested to sort of waft the boobie around in front of the mouth in order for the baby to and then latch right on and get the whole nipple rather than just suck on the teat bit at the end, which is what causes the cracked and soreness of it. I must have loved it because I ended up becoming a breastfeeding peer supporter. So one of the ladies that goes down to the groups and helps out the mums who are struggling with it. I'm really glad that I persevered with it because, like I say, I ended up loving breastfeeding. The endorphins that are released when you're breastfeeding just made me love Dolly even more, if that's possible. It was also very important for me that I breastfed because I couldn't get up and down out of bed, so at night I couldn't get up and down to feed. So I decided, or it was suggested, I can't remember how it came about, but we ended up co-sleeping with Dolly so that I was naked and that when she wanted to feed in the night, she could just latch on. We ended up sleeping with her until she was pretty much about 7. Lots of people had problems with this, saying, you're making a rod for your own back, she should be in her own bed, it's not healthy. But actually, we loved it and still miss her now when she's not there in bed with us. I don't think I would have been able to persevere with the breastfeeding had I not been able to do that. The World Health Organization at the time recommended that you breastfed your baby until 2 years old. I managed to get to 1 year and then Dolly was drinking her own milk at that point, so I no longer was breastfeeding. In fact, I think I wanted to carry on longer, but she wasn't interested anymore, so it stopped then. Breastfeeding with B the second time round was much more difficult because I had a 2-year-old in tow as well, and she needed, nappy changing. She was wrecking the house, whatever it was that was going on. It was much more difficult because if B was latched on, I had to unlatch her and go and sort Dolly out. And I believe this is what caused a lot of the mastitis that I had when I was breastfeeding B. I really didn't enjoy it as much because it was painful, because it wasn't such a chilled out experience, but I really believed in it, and so again I persevered and breastfed her until she was 1. Like I say, it wasn't as enjoyable an experience, but I knew it was best for her and I knew it was best for me, so I carried on with it and I have no regrets whatsoever.